Corey Reben, known to the grotesque social media influencer scene as MorgueOfficial, took harmless banter of mine out of context from a private chat to have me swatted in hopes of my life being ended at the hands of the police. He failed because he's fucking retarded, but the laughable thing here is that Morgue said worse things than me, not bantering in a private chat, but in public for the world to see. So let's take a look. From MorgueOfficial's Facing a Deluded World from his ultra cringe Terrors of Men days. It goes. Seeing the world clearly is something I think everyone should strive for. You cannot make clear decisions and fulfill your potential if you are shrouded in a fog. However, for some individuals, it can be a horrifying and lonely experience. The more I interact with people around me, the more I realize just how deluded they are. They have created rules and rituals to inject false meaning into their existence. These animals are playing house, working hours on end for their little bits of green paper. They display proper etiquette at the dinner table while they feast on carefully prepared pieces of the dead. I grip the steak knife and my knuckles turn white as I long to plunge it into their rancid flesh. They cannot comprehend the futility of their life. I could show them. But I am forced to play their game. I am a sane man confined to an asylum, so I put on a smile and laugh at their clever jokes. At times, I can see how easy it would be to slip into their delusion, to lean on the crutches of religion. But I reject that kind of false happiness. Religion is nothing but dead hope. I wonder if my readers understand what I'm speaking of, if they see the world as I do. It is not something that can be explained, you just know. The truth and understanding gives you an intense connection with reality. Yet, conversely, the presence of the sleeping masses gives you an intense disconnection. Maybe this is just the ramblings of a madman. Most of my influences, Nietzsche, Goya, eventually went mad. After all, sanity would be quite boring. I have hope in the artists. Many of them are only half asleep. Occasionally, I come across someone who is fully awake. Unfortunately, most of those individuals are too weak to handle reality and collapse into depression. It takes an iron will to withstand the weight. Do you have the strength of will to face the world? Use your hate, your frustration, and your anger. These are powerful forces that can be focused into achieving your goals. Or I suppose we could just blow it all to hell. Morbidly yours, Morgue. Morgue opens this abortive attempt at blogging by telling his readers that striving to see the world clearly is the path to actualizing your own potential, though the journey can be a horrifying and lonely experience. This is hilarious coming from a person whose vision of reality is as muddied as it's possible to be. Morgue doesn't have a true self with which to see the world as it truly is. Thanks to his fucked up Christian fundamentalist homeschooled upbringing, he's a pathological narcissist with a false self, and all he can see are marks to be targeted and exploited for their money and for narcissistic supply, which he would die without. Everything revolves around this, so Reben can only see in the most blinkered way. When MorgueOfficial looks through the narrow chinks in his woke armor, he fails to see the Spartan armada barreling down on him in retaliation for his world historic treachery, cowardice, lying, and effeminate weakness. He has to live inside of the fantasy world where he is God and a hyper-aware woke Jesus wannabe, a world shaper, come to save the world from tyranny. Although the tyranny we have now is far more palatable than the woke tyranny that fucking nutjob envisions. Morgue's vision for this Neogenian new Terra is a woke androgynous hellscape where murderers and pedophiles are one with saints and dyslexic fairies through his demented absolute perspective, where nobody can judge anyone else for exploring their diversity to the maximum, no matter how much damage it does to the collective good. Could you imagine enduring such a horror? Yet this is the stupid shit this clown promotes weekly on his brain-dead streams. Hey Morgue, do you want to know why your path is such a horrifying and lonely experience? It's because your true self died long ago. You aren't human. There is nothing behind your eyes. You are an empty husk of a man, unable to face reality, and you know it. You have no substance with which to reflect and behold the wondrous nature of this mathematical world the rest of us normies get to enjoy, much to your rage. There isn't a conceivable world with which somebody like you could ever feel whole. Your collective frequency domains won't save you. The day you are forced to face reality, and it's coming soon, you will fold like a fucking lawn chair. You will implode with a whimper. Existence won't even flinch at your demise. That's how worthless you are. Reuben, the most deluded cunt on this planet, then goes on to say how deluded everyone else is. He scoffs at anyone who adheres to the rules of society. He refers to the working class as animals, no doubt to this bourgeois prick, just sheep, slaving away for a paycheck like the suckers they are. It's unreal how much this son of an Orange County Christian fundamentalist cop despises the working class. This piece of shit has never experienced a day of actual labor in his miserable life. And he has the impudence to shit on us, people who actually work for a living rather than plagiarizing and grifting from suckers on the internet to pay our bills. Then he has this to say about us working class animals. They display proper etiquette at the dinner table while they feast on carefully prepared pieces of the dead. I grip the steak knife and my knuckles turn white as I long to plunge it into their rancid flesh. They cannot comprehend the futility of their life. I could show them. You could show us, eh? You fucking cowardly pussy. Let's go then. Game on, MorgueOfficial. Show us. Drive the knife in. You know what they say? Them's fighting words. Can you believe this shit? The hypocrisy of this pervert. This isn't cherry-picked banter from a private conversation. This is Corey Reuben's public declaration of war on the working class. And don't worry, tough guy, I'm helping you to make sure that the people get your message loud and clear. You wanted to pick a fight without the fight. That's where your delusions are going to cost you. Reality doesn't work the way you think it does, you delusional creep. The fight's coming to you. Then this dizzy fucking weirdo says he's the sane man confined to an asylum. I thought you were non-binary, Corey. Oh yeah, that's just for the grift. This is the least self-aware person in the entire goddamned universe. You think it can be easy to slip into the delusion, do ya? You slid all the way in, mate. You're at the bottom of the barrel of delusion, writhing in sadness and pain as your true self screams at you from the back end of an unbridgeable abyss. You can't reject false happiness, Reuben. That's the closest you'll ever get to happiness. The fake happiness you show your cult slaves, who you so utterly despise. Drive the knife into them, why don't ya? You'd make the world a better place. By the madman's own words, sanity would be quite boring. Well then, by your metric, Morgue, you must be having an infinite amount of entertainment in your fantasy world where sanity is infinitely lacking. But don't lose hope, people. MorgueOfficial has hope. Hope for the artists. The nauseating bourgeois Hollywood artists. Rejoice, motherfuckers. Hollywood artists are going to wake up the world. Enough of this bullshit already. It's time for the working class to unite against these privileged bastards.